Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your girl, Chosen Lazy, and I am back with part 2 of my family, my relatives, being exposed for all of the wickedness and the evil they have caused in my life and other people's lives. This channel message comes directly from source. It is time now that the truth comes out. This woman, my aunt, is very dark, is very evil. The same things that she has done to my mother, she tried to do to me. But because my mother lacked a real relationship with God, she succeeded in her death. And she thought she was going to succeed with me. She exposed my mother to cocaine, to drugs, to additives, in order to carry out her evil, malicious plan. She was hoping that it hadn't worked on me. She was so jealous and envious of my mother because my mother was happy. She was successful. She was very abundant. She was very prosperous, very happy, very loving, very caring. My mom did not lack anything, and my aunt despised it. My aunt went to the ends of the earth to cause chaos and confusion in my mother's life with her dark sorcery. And it is only because my mother did not have a relationship with God, a real relationship with God, that she succeeded. She set the traps by getting my mother exposed to drugs, by getting her addicted to drugs, in order to carry out this evil plan. Because she hated that my mother was loved by others. She hated all the attention that my mother has gotten. She did not like the fact that my mother was happy in her relationships. So my aunt went out the way to sabotage every connection, to ruin every connection that my mother had. She wanted to make my mother's death look natural, so therefore it would have not been pointed back to her. And she tried to do the same thing to me, but she was unsuccessful because I have a relationship with God, a real relationship with God, a stable relationship with God. She did not know that I was chosen. She tried all she could to stunt my growth, to block my intuition. She did a numerous amount of death spells, love spells, confusion spells, chaos spells, beauty spells. She's done everything she could in her power to try to destroy me. She literally tried to get me addicted to drugs, to make me take my own life. She exposed me to drugs and hoping that I would eventually die, that I would eventually overdose on these substances because of all the chaotic magic, confusion magic, death spells, all of this dark magic that she was sending my way. She was hoping that it had worked, so I would take my own life. But at this point, you can see it did not work. Because of God. It is because of God that I am still living and breathing today. She tried to stunt my growth. She tried to sever my connection with God so she could have her way with me for her own personal gain. She has been doing this for years, y'all. She did all of this to make me look incompetent and crazy and not stable-minded because she wanted to financially gain from me. She also wanted my spiritual inheritance. She wanted my spiritual gifts. She totally despised who I am as a person. I am a woman of integrity. I am a very genuine, loving, caring, nurturing woman of God. And she hated because I was given all of these spiritual gifts. She hated because I was abundant and very intuitive and successful and prosperous and wealthy, just like my mother. So she tried to take all of that from me by making me look crazy so she could throw me in a mental institution. But we all know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment, it shall be condemned. And all the traps that she has set for me, she has now fallen in. Because whatever the wicked does, whatever the evil doers, the workers of iniquity do, it will not prosper against those who are walking in righteousness. For the word of God says, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. So everything that she tried to do, it failed. I've always loved my aunt, but the bond that I had with her was not real. I was under the influence of love spells. I was under the influence of drugs and substances. But I am now free because God has broken every trauma bond, every love spell, and every soul tie that she has ever placed upon me. Now she's going to have to repay back sevenfold all the years that she stole from me.